Hey, what's happening? This is iPaintCreatures, and I thought I'd upload my latest commission. It's a painting of a character from the Epic Story Experience, Matsu, called Ryo, and it's done in acrylics, actually a special kind of acrylics, color shifting acrylics. So like when you move this illustration canvas wood panel around, the colors will change. And this is really neat for Ryo because his yokai Tatsu form, which is the Japanese yokai dragon, is basically he's a chameleon. So he changes all different colors. So he's just not one color type Tatsu water serpent. So I thought I'd come on here and tell you his origin and his role in the epic story experience of Matsu. So his journey begins right after the Kappa settled in, after they rode the Subsequian, which is a underwater spaceship that made it through the Great Flood. They landed in the farmland. But after the Tamacon exploded, their farm kind of got, dissipated, and it fell dormant. It was a magical cucumber farm. Right? So Ryo, he shifted back into his earthly form, which is a Akita dog, and he leaped onto a freight train. And then he realized that it wasn't a freight train; it was a time traveling machine. And he was there with Taiko, who is a Kappa yokai, a major character in the epic story experience of Matsu. And they were transported 49 years into the future, landing in California in around 1990. And they landed on Big Sur Beach, right down there in Monterey, California. And a woman on vacation discovered the two stranded animals. So she took them in, brought them home to her 5-year-old son named Shigen. And Shigen is one of the major characters in the story of Matsu. And so she brought them home, and Shigen, who instinctively named them Taiko and Ryo, and that's actually their yokai names in the epic story experience of Matsu. So 5 years they remained their normal mortal animal forms, a turtle, pretty much a sea turtle type box turtle, and Taiko, that was Taiko, and Ryo was a Akita dog with a very long tail. And then Shigen got diagnosed with his deadly illness, his disease, and had to go to the hospital. And so they were left behind as the pets, and that's when they transformed back into their original forms as magical yokai, as a Tatsu and a Kappa. And they started to visit Shigen in the hospital through his dreams, through his imagination, through his activation of his story stone and his poetic compass inside of himself, where he started creating all kinds of stories and poems all about the world of 96542 and the epic world of Matsu. But the day Shigen miraculously healed and returned home, Ryo and Taiko revealed their true yokai forms to him and started communicating. And that's when Shigen was like, "Who's talking to me?" And it was actually the two yokai, and they were talking to him about how his dreams were not fake. They were actually real, and they were going to guide him on the epic adventure into 96542 in the story of Matsu. So a little bit about Ryo. Ryo became Shigen's mentor. He started teaching the senpai arts of invisibility, detachment, and transformation. He prepared him to combat the spirit-draining effects of the Tamacon after the Tamacon destroyed himself and reclaimed the lost essence of the world. So as a Tatsu yokai, Ryo wields telepathy, teleportation, telekinesis. He has subsonic poetics that are so powerful that he can manifest anything, objects, things, into reality instantly. And then as a canine, his earthly form, he navigates the spirit concrete world, bridging mortality and the infinite spirit instant back into the spirit power of the world. And he also has powers of a Senin wizard yokai. He inspires emerging artists, digital creators, visionaries, and modern multimedia creators. And so that's where he bridges the world into reality, inspires General IPC, iPaintCreatures, me. And as an elemental explorer, he ventures into oceanic realms, volcanic realms, blizzard storms. He constantly is expansive, and he has just major vitality and resilience. And that's a lot of his major powers of being a yokai. And though he stands as an ally to the Funky Eye puppets, he never really took the form of an actual puppet. He still lives in the animated realms of the story of Matsu. So Ryo, his name, is short for Ryosho, which once was an ordinary Akita dog, a loyal companion in the city of Yokaida. It's one of the first cities formed after Atomic, before he came Atomicon, introduced the necessity of elements beyond water. As fire, wind, agriculture, civilization took shape, form, spirits became animals seeking refuge from Atomicon's growing dominion. And some of these creatures became yokai, like Inagami and Nikomata, while others remained as wild dogs, cats, and other animals. Well, you see, Ryo was amongst the first Akita pets. He was living in Matsutaro, one of the early mustard seed farmers. His life was peaceful until urbanization took over the nature, and concrete consumed the land and water became scarce. Then came the great water wheel in the sky, turning and summoning the great flood. In the chaos, Matsutaro, who was basically Ryo's owner, abandoned Ryo, and he fled for survival. So as the flood waters rose, Ryo swam with the tide, his instincts guiding him. And at the final moment, he leaped above a rising storage stone. And his body transformed, his tail elongated, he got fins and gills, he emerged and he took form as an ancient chameleon like Tatsu Yokai. He can now shift between all the elements, change hues, and blend into the environment. He started navigating the floodwaters, and then Ryo encountered a wayward dock, a portal to a subsonic underwater spaceship, and that was a Subsakian, and that was piloted by the Kappa DJ crew, Mix, Scratch, and Fade. And this is where he met Taiko, the Kappa turtle. And he rode the Subsakian all the way with them as an artisan, invented yokai in the floodwaters. He subsided, and then Ryo spent days and nights undergoing senpai training while he was on the Subsakian, the underwater spaceship. And then he arrived when the Kappa landed the Subsakian, and they made their cucumber farm. And he became a spirit-earth duality, existing both as a Akita dog in a mortal world and a Tatsu in the spiritual realm. And he had chameleon powers. He'd adapted to any environment. He could fly through water, could swim through fire and wind. He had subsonic poetics and the senpai arts, transmitting imagination and reality through direct mental projection. He had the ability to have invisibility and detachment, withstanding disturbance and maintain his mission and peace and inspiration. He thrived on the DJ Kappa farm as a farm dog until the Atomicon exploded. And that's when he jumped on that train that became a time machine and brought him to the world of Shigen and became Shigen's Akita dog, and then transforms into the magical chameleon Tatsu Senin Yokai and takes Shigen on his ride. So thank you for tuning in and watching it. Commissions are wide open for IPC, so I'll put a link down. You can contact me at bookingiPaintCreatures at Gmail and get your fantastical creature, your hand-painted fantastical creature. And I also want to let you know the musical composer of the Matsu team, the Epic Story Experience Matsu team. Cameron Scott made the tracks that you've been listening to under this Speedpaint. And yeah, to finish it off right there is my signature. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see y'all folks real soon.